Hello my darlings, I hope you're all doing very, very well and happy new year. I hope this new year is full of love and happiness and good vibes, and of course new tattoos or continuation of tattoos that you have in progress. And I just hope that this year is full of blessings for you, honestly, because 2022 was a bit of a ride for the majority of us, I can imagine. I feel like it's the same with every year, but 2022 was a year for me. It was full of great times and some bad times as well, because I've had some health issues. Yeah, that's still going strong, but hopefully 2023 is the year I get it all fixed. And I hope it's the same for you as well. If you're going through anything, I hope 2023 just brings you some good luck. I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me through another year as well, because doing this is my dream job and your continued support makes it happen. So I hope I get to spend another year with you and, you know, create content for you. I'm hoping to do some new fun things this year. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, my health is my priority at the moment, so I want to get that fixed because, long story short, I have this condition called RCPD. I have to get Botox in my throat to allow me to burp because I can't burp, and because I can't burp, I have an array of symptoms, and yeah, I'm hoping that all gets fixed first. That's my priority. Obviously making content as well, but yeah, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you so much for, you know, being here and all of that. I appreciate you all so much. Yeah, in today's video, I'm doing what I would do every single year, and that is doing a recap of the tattoos that I got in 2022 or the previous year. I do this every year, and writing down my list, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually got tattooed quite a bit in 2022. You know, like I didn't think it was that much, but when you write the list, it's like, oh, okay. So let's get on with it. I would love to know what tattoos you got in 2022. Please comment them down below so we can all be nosy and know what you got this past year. Okay, so for me, I got, and let me count my list. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 14 tattoos in 2022, so that averages at like 1 a month plus 2 extras here and there. But the last month I got tattooed, I believe, was it October or November? I don't remember. Anyway, I normally have a tattoo break over like the end of November through December. Just because of Christmas and all of that. Anyway, let's get on with it. So the first tattoo that I got in 2022 was my knee tattoo. I got a bat on my left knee. I don't know my left and right, but I do have L&R on my thumbs, which I got this year, or past year, should I say. We'll get to that eventually. But yeah, on my left knee, I got a black work traditional bat tattoo, and I had put off getting my knees tattooed for many years, just because the thought of it was so scary, and just the thought of getting my knees tattooed was disgusting to me because I don't like bony areas getting tattooed. And of course, your knee is incredibly bony, right? And all of the, like, the knee cap areas, like, it's all round and in that area, you know, like, no. And even though I've had one of my knees done, I'm now back to, you know, thinking, oh God, I've got to do my other knee because my right knee needs to be tattooed because that's completely blank at the moment. And I'm back to being like, oh, do I really want to do it? Because my back tattoo didn't take that long and it was pretty easy to get through. It wasn't that painful, to be honest with you. Like, it surprised me how little it hurt. I mean, it hurt obviously because, you know, it's a tattoo, but I was expecting a lot worse. I think the worst of getting a knee tattoo is the few days after. I was limping so bad. Like, it just puts into perspective of how much you use your knee. Obviously, I'm pretty sure we're aware of how much we use our knees when we walk and stuff, but I didn't realize, okay? Like, I just didn't know that there was so much that went into our knees. You know, the skin moves and, you know, it's just so tender. And my knee did bruise a little bit, which is, you know, it happens quite a bit for me because I bruise very easily. I am anemic, but yeah, the healing period of the knee tattoo was something else, and the itchy phase as well. Oh my gosh, oh, that was not fun. But I love this tattoo so much. It's healed up so well, and I'm so glad I went ahead and did it. And yeah, I highly recommend getting your knee tattooed if you're putting it off, but I mean, I can't say anything because I'm putting off getting my other one now, but mainly because I don't know what I'm doing with it because I have quite an awkward gap for it now, but that's a future me problem, okay? The next tattoo I got in 2022 was a black work sword tattoo by the artist Nancy Chapman. This was a flash tattoo, so she had this design up and ready, and I think she had a cancellation. Yes, she did. She had a cancellation on a day that I was already out and about. I think I was getting my hair done, and then I was like, okay, I'll get my hair done. Oh, Nancy has a cancellation. Cool. I can, you know, get a tattoo after my hair appointment. And I love what Nancy does. I've been tattooed by her a few times now. Her work is impeccable. It's beautiful what she can do. Specializes in, you know, black work, so mainly like line work, a bit of dot work, a bit of solid black here and there. But she'll take, you know, characters, cartoon characters, actors, actresses, I don't know, a variation of, you know, pop culture things and turn them into these beautiful black work tattoos. But this one was just a saw with some hearts on it, and it filled up a gap that I had so nicely. And yeah, there's no meaning to it, to be honest with you. I just really liked it. So the next ones that I got was my Eleanor by this artist called Gary, who works in a tattoo studio that my boyfriend's sister works in. I ended up getting quite a few tattoos by the artists that work there just because I wanted to go and see Tom's sister and just, you know, annoy her and, you know, get tattooed at the same time. The novelty of that has kind of wore off now. I won't lie. I'm just like, right, stop doing this now. But yeah, I got Eleanor on my thumbs just because I really do struggle with my left and right. I always have done. I honestly just don't think I was ever taught my left and right as a kid. I don't remember anyone ever showing me left and right. I don't know, like, do people get taught this or do you just pick it up automatically? I don't know, but I really do struggle, and these are so freaking handy, let me tell you, okay? Like, I look at them daily when I'm like left, right. You know, like, I just struggle with it, so they are very useful. I highly recommend, you know, doing this if you struggle also. You don't have to do it on your thumbs. I did it pretty loud and proud, but mainly because I don't have much room on my hands anymore. But it's so helpful. And I had one touch up and they're still a wee bit patchy. But they're readable, and that's, yeah, I'm done. Like, one touch up is enough for me, honestly. And the next tattoo that I got from Gary as well was this sword tattoo. Again, I just got inspired by a lot of people that have this. Like, it's obviously not a copy, but there's a lot of people that do have a sword tattoo on their finger. You know, it's not like original or anything, but, well, the idea isn't original. But yeah, I just fancied filling out my fingers. I still have quite a bit of space on my fingers, to be honest, to fill out. I think that might be this year's problem, you know, 2023's problem, because I just want to finish my fingers, because like my baby fingers have like barely anything on them. This finger here, don't mean to swear at you, and this one as well, actually. Both of these fingers don't have much on them at all. This one does. Oh, I can't get my ring off. Oh. This one does have a heart. This was my first finger tattoo and it's still there, hanging in there. But other than that, yeah, them two fingers are pretty plain. The next tattoo I got in 2023 was my inner elbow spiderweb vampire tattoo mashup. There's a lot going on there, but I had a big gap in my inner elbow just here where it just needed something, and I thought in my head a spider web and a spider would fit perfectly within that gap. And the artist that did this was Debbie Jones. She is an incredibly talented tattoo artist who absolutely nailed this tattoo. The line work is perfect, the color palette is perfect. It healed up incredibly well considering the placement, because I've in the past had trouble with healing tattoos in here. They sometimes do need a touch up or a going over, because I have had 2 sleeves on this arm. I'm wearing like the worst shirt right now to be doing this video, so I can't show you much. But yeah, I've had, you know, quite a few sessions in my inner elbow here where I've needed touch ups, just because, you know, your inner elbow has a lot of movement, a lot of bending, a lot of like rubbing and all of that. Like, yeah, healing inner elbow tattoos are pretty hard, but this healed up so well, and I'm so grateful, because this was so painful. Like, I was so over it after about 30 minutes. I was done. It was so, I hate to keep using this word, but it really was so freaking spicy. Like, it was just, it felt like she was using a 1,000-degree needle on my skin. It was so hot and just irritated, and yeah, I was so glad when it was done, but it was so worth it. The next tattoo I got, again, was from Nancy. She did this, I think this is like one of my favourite tattoos. And I know you're not meant to pick favourites, or it's hard to pick favourites, but this would definitely be in my top 10. And that is a devil ghost. She did a ghost bunny tattoo a few months before I got this, and I was so inspired. And I was just like, oh my god, I need something like this. Like, I've always wanted a ghost tattoo, but I didn't want to like take obviously someone else's idea and have a ghost bunny, which even though I was like, oh my god, this is so cute, I want it. I thought, how can I make this uniquely mine? And I thought, oh, Halloween ghost. Let's make it a devil ghost, you know? Like, I wanted it to kind of capture that 90s devil costume that you would have, you know? As a kid, you'd have, like, the little horns and the little, like, pitchfork thing or whatever you call it. Spork. No, that's not a spork. Trident. It's called a trident, I think. And Nancy nailed this so much. The next tattoo I got is from Ella, who used to work where my boyfriend's sister works, and she did this little heart with the word dogs in it, and it's like this green teal glitter situation. And even though it's a very small tattoo, it holds a big place in my heart because as you may know, I love dogs so freaking much. There is not one dog I don't love, okay? I want to pat them all and tickle under their chins and play fetch with them and feed them treats and hug them and put them under a little blanket and just love them forever. Like, every single dog, okay? Every dog deserves love, in my opinion, okay? And, this, again, small tattoo, but huge meaning for me. And it filled up a nice gap for me as well. The next one I got is Yippee-ki-yay from one of my favourite films, Die Hard. I have watched Die Hard so much in my life. It's insane. And it's a Christmas film, okay? I won't take any arguments about that, all right? It's very much a Christmas film because it's set in Christmas, okay? It's set before Christmas. You know, there's trees and all of that. And if you want to argue that it's not a Christmas film, then why is Home Alone a Christmas film? Home Alone's a Christmas film just because it's set around Christmas, right? So is Die Hard. Okay, do you want to argue with me on this? Like, come on, come at it. Come on, let's go. And like I said, I grew up watching Die Hard. It was always on TV. And every time it was on TV, I watched it. Without a doubt. It just reminds me of my childhood. Anyway, so yeah, this was done by Gary. It's just a big bubbly script. It's blown out a little bit, I won't lie. But again, we win some, we lose some, to be honest with you. So I still love it, and it holds a special place in my heart just because, you know, Die Hard. The next tattoo I got was it's right here, my darling tattoo. This was done by Megan, again, who works at the studio Tom's sister works at. But I have wanted script in this placement for the longest time because this was just a big gap that just looked like it needed something. You know, like I'd wanted script there forever. And I did want the word amour, just because I like that word. It's so, amour. Ooh, you know, like, but then I was like, that's quite a short word and it probably wouldn't fit great. So I thought the next word that would fit really nicely in here is the word darling. Darling is my favourite word. Okay, I say it at the intro of my videos. My mum used to call me it, and anytime a man has ever called me darling, I just melt, okay? Yeah, I don't know, I just love the word darling, right? It's just great. So it just fitted nicely in there. I think I had one touch up with this because the G, some of the ink fell out, which is obviously very understandable just because it's on the thumb joint area and it was on the sort of near the side of my palm. I don't know if you'll see that, but it does kind of go onto my palm a little bit. So the G struggled a bit, but touch-ups are there for a reason. Okay, and the next one that I got was the most painful tattoo I've ever had. And I've had a lot of painful tattoos in my lifetime, or so I thought. This one was the worst. It was just wanted Satan to take me now kind of pain. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just, I didn't have a good time. I really didn't. I honestly wanted to tap out, 2-3 minutes into this tattoo, and that is, of course, my palm tattoo. Oh, I mean, it looks great. It's so freaking cool. But it was so painful. And now I have to do this palm at some point. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to. But I feel like I need to, just because, like, I'm very much about even tattoos, you know, like both my hands are tattooed there, so I just feel like this one needs to be done at some point, but again, that's a future Lauren problem. But I have a skull with a sort of thorn crown around the head. It's very much my aesthetic. I love skulls and all of that, you know me. I love Halloween, I love spooky gothicy things. So this was a flash piece. I went to the Bristol tattoo convention with my boyfriend Tom and my friend Carmi. Saw that Luke Ashley, who did this, was there, and it's always been a huge dream of mine to get tattooed by him, because he is essentially the palm king, right? He really only does, you know, hands and palms and bottom of feet, like the very complicated, hard to do tattoos. And he freaking nails it. And yeah, he did an amazing job. He was really lovely, always checking in on me and making sure I'm okay and not dead yet, you know, even though I felt like it. And yeah, it's honestly one of my favourite tattoos of all time. It was more of a mental battle than anything else, because your brain is telling you, you need to stop, you need to get out of there. And I pushed through, and I was so proud of myself for doing that, which I know sounds stupid, but yeah, it took a lot for my brain to like fight. It was like an inner fight the whole time. And yeah, it's healed up so bloody well, considering it is a palm tattoo. The only bit that needs a touch up is just the teeth area where a smaller needle was used, so it just needs a touch up there. But this is nearly like 6 months old now. I can't believe I've had it for that long already. The next tattoos I got were 2 on the same day, which is the number 13, just here in my little gap there. I had this gap and I was like, what can I put there? Oh, the number 13 sounds great, because it's the spooky unlucky number, you know. But the artist that did this was, of course, again, a artist that works with with Tom's sister. Her name's Megan. She did the darling one. And I thought, because she did such a good job with this one, she'd be good for this one. And this also goes up onto my palm, and I've not had any touch-ups with this. She did such a good job with this. The style of this font is like quite scratchy. I call it like a twig style font, and I love it so much. I also got the number 31 above my bat tattoo. It's in a gap between a scorpion tattoo that I got a couple of years ago and the bat. And again, the number 31 has 2 meanings for me. One is Halloween, obviously 31st of October, so it is in a spooky type font. And my sister's birthday is the 31st of August, so I thought, oh, double whammy, let's go. That's a good enough reason, right? And then the next tattoos, oh my god. And then the next tattoos I got were, well, these are more cosmetic tattoos, but I thought I would put it in this list anyway, just to talk about it, you know, like it's a procedure I had done. And I had hand poke freckles on my face, and I had my eyebrows microbladed, which is cosmetic tattooing. And I will never shut up about how amazing microblading is. I put it off for years and years and years and years and years and years, just because I always changed my hair colour, so I didn't know what eyebrow colour would suit me, you know. But I've been on the lighter hair tone for quite a while now, and I thought, oh, it would just make my life so much better if I was to get my eyebrows microbladed. The artist that did this is Chloe. She is an absolute sweetheart. She is amazing. She's so kind and caring, and she talks you through the whole process, and it really eased my mind. She did the most amazing colour match for me. She matched the colour of my roots, so, you know, even though my roots are dyed, the whole of my hair's dyed, let's face it. My natural hair colour is a very ashy blonde, like, yeah, it's almost leaning towards like the brown side. Well, it kind of looks grey, to be honest with you. It's that ash. It's basically just ash. Okay. But she kind of matched my root colour a little bit, but did it a little bit lighter, because again, I do dye my hair, so it's in between my natural colour and my dyed colour. And she was so precise when she was doing my eyebrows and making sure it was all even. It's the best thing I've ever done, because I just wake up and my eyebrows are there and they're done and they're even. I've never had even eyebrows before, because they kind of grow uneven anyway, but I'll probably need a touch up in spring. But I'm so happy to do this, because again, best decision I've ever made. Like, honestly, out of every tattoo I've ever had, the eyebrows are the best. And yeah, I also got some freckles hand poked onto my face, which is something, again, that I've wanted to do for a very long time. And I noticed that Chloe did it, so I got my eyebrows, you know, tattooed and some freckles at the same time. I think also when I go for my next touch up, I might get her to do some more. You know, I'm feeling having a bit more. Just because, you know, like there's only like a dusting over like my nose and on my cheeks, but I feel like I'd add a bit more, you know. Unfortunately, because I wear foundation for the majority of the time that I film videos, you don't really get to see them, but they're there and they're great. The next tattoo I got was my Quiet Place tattoo by Paula Castle. Paula Castle, again, is one of my favourite tattoo artists. Not only because she's so talented at what she does, but just her as a whole, just such a wholesome person. She's so lovely, just a great artist to talk to. Like, the time of the session just goes on by so quickly because we're just nattering away about everything. And she's great. She's incredibly inclusive and just lovely. Anyway, I wanted a Quiet Place themed tattoo because it's my favourite horror film, if you want to call it a horror film. I don't know. Some people think it's not, some people think it is. I would say it's more of a thriller because it doesn't really scare me that much. But it's one of those thriller horror films that, I don't know, that I'm just in awe of. It's so well made. The actors and actresses are just incredible. And the storyline is amazing, and there's obviously Quiet Place 1 and 2, and I like both of them equally. Sometimes the sequel is a bit of a letdown, but I swear it's maybe even better, right? And I got the radio that they use in Quiet Place to, I don't want to do spoilers, but they use this radio to get rid of the monsters, essentially, right? And then the word run, and then there's all this like electric around it and stuff like that. And oh, it's so awesome. Paula absolutely nailed this tattoo. It's everything that I wanted. She, yeah, exceeded what I wanted, basically. And the colour palette is gorgeous. And and last but not least is another tattoo by Nancy. Nancy did this incredible The Ring tattoo. So The Ring is one of my favourite horror films of all time as well. It's so creepy and weird in places, especially the tape. I mean, if you haven't seen The Ring, you might not know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the tape from the film The Ring has always been one of my favourite bits in horror films of all time. I've always said if I was to ever make, you know, horror films in my life, which I don't think I ever would, but, you know, if I ever have a career path change or whatever, I would love to make a horror film that is as creepy as the tape in The Ring. And so there's all of this, you know, ladder situation, a spinning chair, a horse, a woman in the, you know, mirror brushing her hair. It's just really creepy, and I love that so much, and that's why I love The Ring so much. It's one of the first horror films that, it was definitely not one of the first horror films I ever watched, but it was one of the first horror films that I watched and was like, wow, this is just scary and amazing at the same time. I love the story of it so much. And I've already had a Samara, who is the creepy girl in the film The Ring, tattooed on me. She was in my elbow just here, but when I got the blast over, she had to go, unfortunately. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I can always get her again at some point. And I did get her again, just to represent my love for, you know, horror films and the film The Ring. So I wanted Nancy to sort of capture a scene from the film The Ring where one of the main characters is watching the tape and Samara has come out of the well and it's on this old TV. Well, not, well, yeah, somewhat old TV. It's, you know, one of those TVs that had a back to it. If you're from the 90s, you know exactly what kind of TV I'm on about. Nancy captured that perfectly. I gave her some inspiration photos and she mushed it all together and made a dream tattoo for me, and I love it so much. So yeah, that's all of the tattoos that I got in 2022. Now, my plans for 2023, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, my health concerns are much more important. So, you know, getting Botox into my throat is way more important, and that's kind of expensive, you know, like it costs nearly like £900, I believe, maybe a bit more. I also won't be able to get tattooed anyway because I can't eat until I can lay down, if that makes sense. So when I eat, I get lots of, you know, trapped air, wind in my stomach. I get incredibly bloated, and the only way to relieve that is if I lay down. And obviously with the majority of tattoos you can just, you know, lay down, but sometimes you do have to sit up and, you know, move about and be in all these weird positions, which is obviously understandable. So I won't be getting tattooed until I'm better, basically, because I won't be able to eat before a tattoo session. And, you know, I always promote that you have to eat a meal before you get tattooed because it really does help you. It keeps your sugar levels, you know, on a nice, even playing field, you know. And I don't particularly fancy, you know, potentially passing out because I haven't eaten. That's kind of embarrassing, right? And, you know, every tattoo artist that I go to, on their, you know, the consent form, that it says, have you eaten a big meal within the last sort of 4 hours? And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, and I doubt a tattoo artist would want to tattoo someone that hasn't eaten if they're aware of it. I would hope so anyway. So yeah, tattoos are on hold for a little bit until I'm better. So yeah, I haven't got any tattoos booked as of yet, but should I become better, I think my main priority will be fingers. Get them finished. And I want to get this tattoo that I have wanted for years. And I mean years and years and years. I've probably mentioned it way back in some older videos. Maybe some of you might even remember this. I don't know, depending on how long you've been watching me. But I have wanted this tattoo for the longest time, and I've always put it off because I've been very in and out of this thing, right? So I've always wanted this tattoo of a candle that says, you know, take candle, okay? Because it's from a game that I've played since 2008, which is World of Warcraft. And I've just always had this vision in my head of this tattoo. I think I'd want it in colour, so it would have to go on my right leg if I've got any space for it. I don't know. But yeah, I've just started playing World of Warcraft again. I'm not playing the new expansion, which is Dragonflight. I'm probably talking foreign language to a lot of people right now. But I am playing World of Warcraft Classic, and the expansion that's on there at the minute is Wrath, which is my ultimate favourite expansion for World of Warcraft. And I've been having so much fun playing that. And I'm just like, oh, like I've wanted this tattoo for so long. And I kind of always put it off because I would play World of Warcraft for, you know, quite a while. Then I'd just stop for a bit, and then I'd play, and then I'd stop. You can take the girl out of World of Warcraft, but you can't take the World of Warcraft out of the girl. That's the kind of situation or relationship I have with this game. So I really am thinking of doing that tattoo at some point. Maybe starting my back tattoo. Maybe, which would be blacking out the whole of my back and then getting an image over the top in white and more black ink. That is going to be a lot, and that's probably going to be a 2-year process, maybe 3, I don't know, depending on how often I get tattooed, how much I can handle, how I'm feeling. That's probably a later this year problem, you know? I don't know. That's up in the air for now. Yeah, I'll probably end up getting little flash bits here and there, you know me. But that's it pretty much, yeah. I don't know, we'll see, because it's early days yet. We've only just entered 2023, so who knows. But of course, you'll be the first ones to know when I get tattooed and all of that. I would love to know your tattoo plans for 2023. Please comment them down below, as well as the tattoos you got in 2022. And yeah, that's it for this video. Again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. And until my next video, bye.